Thank you. Welcome, everyone. This is session 3 of financial literacy for small business. We've had 2 other sessions. In session 1, we talked about finances in the startup phase. We talked about pricing your goods and services and all the costs you need to consider when you start a business. And then last week, we had a CPA here and also another tax professional that talked to us about reports and how to pull all of our information together and get that to the right person so that we stay on top of our finances. It was a very good session. And tonight we have a guest that's going to speak to us about, once we have belief and faith that all of you are going to build your businesses to the point that you will have a business with good assets and that you'll be able to transfer that business, sell it, or that it will produce a lot of good income for your family. So tonight's speaker is going to talk about what you do when your business is mature, is what we call that. I just did the course overview. The guest for tonight is Denica Seymour, and Denica is going to tell you about herself. After Denica speaks, many of the things that she's going to talk about in her presentation, I was able to implement some of those when I was in business, my previous business as a home care agency owner for 19 and a half years. So I will share some of that information. And then we have Darlene Thorne is going to talk to us about self-care in this phase. When your business is mature, you're getting ready to think about what to do next. She's going to share some things with us surrounding that. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and allow Denica Seymour to speak to us about what she's prepared, and we'll move forward from there. Denica.
Thank you so much, Patty, for inviting me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and start my Zoom here. Let me get my PowerPoint up just a second, and I'll get to sharing.
All right. Darlene, would you be prepared to go ahead and go now?
Sure. I'll take just a few moments to share with you how you can take care of yourself as you go through the changes. Now, we have a perfect example of what happens as we're going through changes. Sometimes there's hiccups. Sometimes things don't go the way you had anticipated. Sometimes there's a breakdown in communication. And sometimes there's a lot of things that all the pieces that are supposed to be together, they don't always fall together, and you've got to step back and regroup. And so I can believe it's very important as business owners that you recognize when it's time to pull back. You may be going full speed ahead, you may be moving, and when you run into those roadblocks, you've got to be able to take some stock in what are you doing, what things are happening, and making sure that you're not running on fumes. Because sometimes we begin to move so much, and as your business grows, if your business is growing faster than you had anticipated, and you're trying to figure out how am I supposed to keep all these balls in the air, or the spinning plates. You've ever seen that where they've had 7 spinning plates and the guys running around keeping all the plates in the air and trying to keep it all running and everything. And that's what we can sometimes be doing within ourselves and within our businesses. And sometimes we've got to know when to take the plate off of the spinning top and pull back and take a look at what it is that you're doing. There are times that's important for you to revamp. And revamping doesn't mean that you've done a poor job. No, revamping means that you've come to a pinnacle, and now you've got to create some new structures for the new phase and for the next phase. So what does this have to do with self-care? Well, when you're not practicing good self-care, you may make some poor decisions when it comes to expansion. You may not be speaking to the right people because you're just thinking and you're running and you're just figuring, I've got to do it. I got to do it. I got to get this right. Got to get this business moving. I don't want to lose my customers. I don't want to lose my business. And we will make some poor decisions that in the long run, the things that you were trying to avoid, you'll run into them anyway. So what's going to be critical is to make sure you have a few things in place. Number one, you need to have a team of people that is working with you, alongside of you, that help keep you accountable and help keep you in harmony. I think you remember I talked about the difference between balance and harmony. Balance is not really something that we can say that we achieve balance, because it's always changing. But I like to use the word harmony. I know that Dr. Cheryl Clark-Dugan would appreciate this. You have soprano, alto, and tenor. Each one of them has their own voice. They all have their own melody. They all have their own strength. But together, it makes beautiful music. So when you live in harmony, you have the different sections of things that are operating the way they're supposed to together. So when you have people that are helping you to be accountable, they're helping you to look ahead. You want to have those people in your life who are the not the yes people in your life, but the people that are going to say, hold up, let's take a beat, because I see where we're going and I see where we are. And I see the chasm in the middle that maybe you're missing because you're in the thick of things. And we've got to make some adjustments. So you want to have that person or that team in your life that is around you, that is helping you as you have to make some new decisions when you are making changes. Because when you're making decisions like that and making those adjustments, they can be as seamless or as obvious as they can be, depending on who you have working with you to help you make that change. If you have those people that are those forecasters that can see well ahead, that those are the ones that wear the big binoculars and they can see well ahead, and they're helping to let you see what needs to be done. That helps you to, one, be at peace. And it helps you also to make, as I said earlier, proper decisions. The second thing you're going to need when it comes to making that transition and being able to do it smoothly is you have to have a vision. Yeah. You have to have a vision. You have to have a vision of what it is going to look like, and already have been thinking about what happens from point A to point B. That vision that you have, those who are on your team help you get that vision to come to fruition, because you're not doing it by yourself, but you're letting them know where you need to be. You're letting them know how we're going to get there. And then they're the ones that put those little pieces together. And depending on what kind of personality you are, if you're one of those visionaries that is the big picture, and you need to have those people that are able to do those little minute details that stress you out, you want to make sure you have those people in line with you too. That is going to be critical from moving from point A to point B. And then the third thing that you're going to need to do, you have to know when to take a break. What? Take a break in the midst of something going from one level to the next? Take a break? What? Are you crazy? No. I believe it's important that you take that break, but that doesn't mean you stop working. No. What it means is that you actually take time to breathe and make true assessments of where you are and where you're going to go. When you make those true assessments, again, you put yourself in a place where you're going to make good, conscious, concrete decisions that will take your business to the next level, and it will be in the way that you need to, that will have the least impact on your customers or your clients. And it will have the most effect upon you, because you won't get stressed out. We won't be visiting you at Wake Med because you will have done everything you needed to do to make the transition. Another thing that's going to be very important is, as we have shared this before, and I think it bears repeating. It is important all during the process of the stretching, the growing, and the changing for you to make sure that you are doing some things for you. Remind yourself how important it is for you to take time, not only for you, but for your family, for your loved ones, because they are a part of you building your business. You don't want to leave them out. They're the ones that are supporting you while you're moving forward. They're the ones that are helping you make these big decisions about growth. And so it's going to be critical that you don't forget to make time for your loved ones, for your family, for yourself. If you happen to be a single person, make sure you have some good girlfriends, good guy friends that you can let your hair down with. Because we can't think about business 24 hours, 7 days a week. That is an unhealthy thing. It is not healthy. And I see all of my colleagues are here saying, yeah, that is absolutely right. We cannot live 24/7 business, business, business. That will not be good for you. How many of you, and I'd like for you to put in the chat, can you please put in the chat, what is one thing that you do for relaxation? And I'm looking, and I'm looking. I'm still looking. I'm only seeing one person put something in the chat. Oh, here it is. Now they're coming in. Okay, I have a nap, meditate, go to bed at night, travel, massage, listen to smooth jazz music, pray, fishing, ride a bike, go to the lake. All of these things are necessary. All of these things are necessary. When you create your schedule, and I hope you all have a schedule, in your schedule, where have you put these things? Now, you've told me these are things that you enjoy doing, but do you do them? Do you do them? That's the question. Are you accomplishing them? I'm going to take a break for a moment. Danica, are you ready? Do you think that you are ready?
I am. I sent Patty my PowerPoint. I was having an issue on one end of the PowerPoint. The other end wasn't popping up the other thing that I was trying to show. So my
you
Zoom
ready to
life,
go?
I live this sometimes. Forgive me, everybody. Forgive me, please. Yes, but I am ready. Patty, you can go ahead and share for me. Thank you so much, you guys, for bearing with my technical issues. So I just wanted to just introduce myself before I started. Hello, everyone. My name is Danica Seymour, and I am so pleased to be here to share with you some really great strategies on managing business assets in the maturity and transfer phase of your business. I am a licensed financial professional, as well as a business management and growth strategist here in the Triangle. My company is the Inclusivity Group. We're based out of Raleigh. I work with a team of experienced financial advisors, business and government and community project consultants, and we use a holistic approach to helping our clients create and maintain strong financial standing, along with the best possible chance at being awarded contracts and other various funding opportunities as well. So our experts create effective partnerships. It drives government contracts, funding, opportunities for small and mid-sized businesses. And one of my favorite things to do is really, I really have a passion for economic equity. So that's why I really got into this business that I'm doing right now, to help historically underutilized businesses be able to flourish financially. So that's something that was really close to my heart. So in this session, I'll be introducing resources to help in the success of building your business. They include a bit about business owners and the importance of trusted advisors, protecting your company's cash flow, assessing the value of your business, employer benefits, retirement plans, as well as insurance needs, wills, and trusts, because they are all so very important to business owners, right? So before we start, just a quick reminder, the information that I'm providing to you today is not tax advice or financial advice. We have to say that as financial professionals, unless you become a client of mine, and that's something different, right? So that would be great if you guys have any questions, you just ask me and I will be happy to answer as much as I can. And if I don't know the answer, we can certainly find it for you, because I work with so many amazing, smart people. All right, so and Patty, can you switch to my second slide, please? Thank you so much. So business owners and the importance of trusted advisors. I actually had Patty add this to what we're going to talk about, because I just thought it was so important that you knew what the top 10 types of advisors are, according to what your business really needs and how important those things are. So business advisors fulfill the areas where you as a business owner might not find yourself too knowledgeable about. You might be fragile in those areas. And they guide you through various situations and helping you to attain business success. So like a financial advisor is pretty much a backbone of every business. A financial advisor helps you to develop a strong financial strategy for your business that further assists you in making and informed decisions concerning investments or ways to save money, etc., those types of things. The responsibility of a financial advisor is to gather information about your financial situation and advise you on investment planning, risk management, retirement, financial benchmarkings, and tax. So more so, remember, financial advisors should hold pertinent financial licenses per your state's laws, okay? So, and also, of course, an accountant. These are the most common type of business advisors, and businesses, generally look for accountants to streamline their accounting books. Some firms hire full-time accountants, and some just seek advice once a year. So accountants are responsible for the following tasks: that beginning, acquisition of the business or closing a business, even tax preparations, filings, obligations to employees, managing all the financial records. So they are super important to a business. Registered investment advisors. So they're a type of financial advisor, but they deal mostly with investments. They're experienced financial advisors who can track, your current field and what it is, because it's so important, that what you're investing in, and to have that professional actually explain some of those things to you, because stock market can be very hard to understand, what it is you're really looking at, what it is you're trying to buy, so it's really important to have someone that will be able to advise you on some of those things that you're doing. Of course, insurance brokers. More likely, your financial advisor will be licensed to broker most insurances. And sometimes, you can just go straight to an insurance broker, and they pretty much all they sell is insurance. And, you need that, of course. So the reason business consultants with insurance brokers is to get the right insurance policies for their assets, their employees, and liability. An insurance broker is abreast of all the trends, in the insurance market, and advises you on the right insurance policy plan for your business, so they can negotiate even better policies and better costs for you as well. So a legal advisor, legal experts are ones that you cannot overlook in the initial years of your business. So you can find lawyers for your diverse business issues that you might come across, at some point in your business life cycle. However, legal experts can guide you in choosing the right business structure, obtaining a license for your business, and complying with regulations. So, it's really, important, even drafting legal documents, protecting your intellectual property, resolving a variety of disputes, even, debts, any type of debts that you might have, or bankruptcies, those types of things that you may need to take care of before you even, start the business, or in the middle of the business. You never know. And a business mentor, right? Business mentor, like those who are provided by SCORE, are usually a role model of entrepreneurs. Like so many of the amazing entrepreneurs that are on tonight, that are talking to you about, what it is that we're learning. These business mentors are just, an amazing resource. They keep you strong through bad times. A business mentor can be an informal advisor, a person who can be your family member even, or even a friend or a consultant. However, there are formal advisors as well, that involve specific programs like SCORE, right? And they help you on a variety of different things that you're looking at. So, and then also the next type of advisor is called a connected advisor. I know a lot of folks are probably like, gosh, this is a lot of advisors, but a lot of times these same advisors, they're connected to each other. You may have one advisor that handles like 5 of these things at one time, but you want to make sure that you're getting everything that you need from these folks. So the connected advisor is, the role of a connected advisor is to introduce you to great people or clients in the industry. However, once you are connected to a person, your relationship may fade away if you don't keep in touch with those connected advisors. So it's such an important thing to make sure that you're constantly checking on those types of advisors, because they're the ones that are going to help your business grow. They're going to invite people to know who you are. So it's really important to make sure that you keep those relationships strong. An analog advisor is a group of people who belong to another industry and have a different perspective. So collaborating with such people help you explore other areas of expertise and identify various issues in your own business. A different perspective can help you spot potential blockades in the way, that you wouldn't have before. So an expert advisor is, as the name suggests, it's an expert. They can bridge the gap in your knowledge, right? These experts are, pros in technology, human resources, accounting, marketing, sales, etc. All of these things that you may not have a clue about, they know, and, you might come across a point in your business life cycle where you'll require an expert to find a solution to a problem and any of the areas that I mentioned above. A long-term advisor, furthermore, businesses should look for a long-term advisor who can serve you with different business issues. So if you are not a legal expert and you're seeking advice for a long-term lawyer or who can serve you in various legal services, that's like a long-term advisor. Somebody that you can always go to, that they may know, that those specific things, and you might know them for years. So that's, one, those specific advisors are, very, very important to know and to have. I think I put 10, but it's 9. Sorry, on there. So I'm really just letting you know, keep in mind all of these type of advisors. Like I said, you can have 5 of them that do all 9 of these things, right? So just take a look at those and really know that you need these people in your corner if you're going to have any type of business that's going to be successful. So Patty, can you go to the next slide for me, please? Thank you. So protecting your company's cash flow. Oh my gosh, this is so important. You really have to protect your company's cash flow. So managing your company's finances is an integral part of growing your business. And that starts with protecting its cash flow. You keep tabs on how money moves through the company. You compare current movement with past movement and identify trends throughout the year to help forecast future cash flow. So your cash flow comes from 3 company activities. It's operations, investing, and financing. So cash flow from operations, this is a key source of a company's cash generation. It's regular and ongoing business activities, right? So, those things that you might be, sell, let's say you're selling cupcakes, you sell X amount of cupcakes, every week. You know how much that usually comes into your business. So these are from the operations of the business. And cash flow from investing. So this includes money used for capital expenditures and money received from sales of assets. And also we want to take a look at cash flow from financing. This includes both the money you borrow and the money you use to repay debt. So having an emergency fund for your business can also help you manage your company's finances. So, and it's so important. When I say it's so important to have an emergency fund for a business, because anything can happen. The last speaker, my colleague, was speaking, and you never know what could happen in the middle of your business. Something could really go wrong, and having that extra money set aside, it's invaluable. You need it. It has to be there. That financial cushion can help you cover potential losses or protect you when things don't go as planned. Having an emergency fund can also help you avoid having to take on, more debt, so, I mean, it's just something that I can't stress enough, and lastly, manage your credit rating. So always pay your bills on time and pay attention to your debt to credit ratio. This is the amount of available credit you use monthly. So keep it below 50%, as higher ratios can limit your ability to secure future funding. So that's just really important to do. And if you can go to slide 4 for me, please. Thank you so much. So in this slide, we're just going to talk a little bit about assessing the value of your business and business valuation. So I'm pretty sure everybody, knows what their business is worth, right? No, most people don't know what their business is worth. So that was just a kind of a joke there. No one knows what their business is worth unless they actually, get a business valuation for that business. I'm telling you, it is something that you need to know, especially at the transfer phase of the business. So we've seen that there's a disconnect between when a business owner wants a valuation and when a business owner needs evaluation. So according to 2018 Business Owner Perspective Study with Mass Mutual, the top reasons business owners want their businesses valued center around measuring the business's health and preparing for a sale, right? To sell that business. But there are specific milestones in the life of a business when it is critical to understand its value. So some of these milestones include more than one shareholder. So most businesses of significant sizes let's say revenues of about $1 million or more, and that would be great. A lot of us on here are just starting out our business. But when you're in the maturity stage, you've had your business for a while, and, your business may be worth, 1 to 2, 3, 5, you never know, $10 million, you never know, and that would be amazing if it is worth that much money, right? And you have more than one stockholder for that business. Usually the owners sign what's called a buy-sell agreement, spelling out what the shareholder gets upon exiting the business, whether due to retirement, disability, or death. Vague buy-sells rely on a formula instead of a number, and an unfunded buy-sell can kill a business off. So you have to be able to fund the buy-sell. And when I say the buy-sell is something happens to your business partner that you're in business with. Let's say there's two people that are together. If you don't have a way, if something actually happens to one of those business owners, and even they may not even be an owner, they may just be a stakeholder in the business. Your top employee, that is like your right-hand employee, and you don't know what you'll do without that employee, right? They're a stakeholder in that business. So if something happens to them, what happens to your business if you count on them every day for your business? That's going to be tough, right? So you have to fund, if something were to happen with them, you have to fund a way to figure that out and make sure that the business has enough money, to keep running. So such agreements, they guarantee you to make someone unhappy, when they're triggered. So it's guaranteed. If something happens, the business is not going to be happy. So, and retirement. So retirement ahead is always, a milestone. Usually occurs around age, 50 or 60, when owners start seeing their friends retire. The concept of retirement stops, being just a word, and it starts becoming real. Retirement planning assumes greater importance. How large is the owner's nest egg, right? That depends on knowing the value of the business. Very important. If you don't know what your business is worth when it's time for you to sell that business, because you want to retire and every day should be a Saturday for you, and you want to, chill out on the beach somewhere, that business has to be able to sustain your lifestyle for the rest of your life, selling that business. So it's very, very important. So we just want to kind of keep that in mind, so that depends on knowing the value of the owner's largest asset, the business itself. So when you're ready to leave, at age 60 or 70, there comes a day when the owners are ready to turn over the keys to the business to someone else, whether it's a child or a key employee or even a competitor. A valuation prepared by a neutral, independent expert is key to making the deal work. And also estate planning. I don't want to leave estate planning out for that, because, that's super important. Unless you want, the Internal Revenue Service to value your business for you, it's important to you to know the value of your business. So we really don't want Uncle Sam telling us what our business is worth, right? We want to figure that out on our own, or find some way for that to happen. So it's important to know your value so you can adequately prepare for any potential estate tax burden should one exist. In addition, if you have children involved in the business and children who are not in the business, having an accurate valuation will help equalize the distribution of your estate. So you're both, fair and equitable to all of your children. Patty, can you switch to the slide number 5 for me, please? Thank you. So reasons to offer your employees benefits. So I want to talk a little bit about this, because this is so important, because you really need to, why employees stay, because they want benefits. That's pretty much, attracts the most talented employees. It minimizes employee turnaround, it keeps a healthy workforce, boosts the employee productivity, enjoy, better worker morale, right? All of these great things, for why it's great to have employee benefits. So basic benefits packages might include some things like medical insurance or dental, vision, life insurance, disability insurance, sick leave, vacation time. I know you've all, worked for different companies, and you've had all these things, parental leave, if you have a baby, either for a man or a woman, they both get to have that leave now, right? And retirement plans, of course, you can tailor your benefits program to your business. Some companies, for example, they choose to offer not just a 401k retirement plan, but also matching contributions to the retirement plan as well. Or some businesses will choose to offer unlimited paid time off, while other businesses will stick to its set number of sick leave days, and that's just what they do. So you remember, whether you have multiple employees or you're a business of one, there are benefit plan options for you as well. Okay, so don't think, you might have just one person there. Oh, how am I going to get benefits? There are benefit plans for single business owners as well. So you just have to, connect with your trusted, advisors, your financial advisors, your financial professionals, and those that will help you tailor those to yourself, and your employees as well. And they'll be sure to steer you in the right direction. You can always choose to offer more and create, superior types of packages. But, whatever it is that you offer, let it be comfortable for the business, so, you don't want your business to go broke, you just kind of take a look to see what it is that you have, what you can offer, and what you need. All right, for your business. And Patty, if you can go ahead and go to the next slide for me. All right, so build your retirement strategy. Okay, so predictable income should be reliable in a good market or a bad market. So for that reason, it provides a solid foundation for your plan. Once created, a predictable income stream places you in a much better situation to address other needs or goals, such as your healthcare or legacy planning. Its objective is to maximize guaranteed lifetime income and to cover necessary expenses. So assess that portion of your retirement assets. It should be liquid and available for emergencies and special care needs. It can also be used for supplemental income needs or discretionary spending. So growth opportunities. Growth is an important aspect of your retirement income because it provides the most opportunity to sustain your long-term needs. It can also help maintain your standard of living by offsetting the effects of inflation. And inflation is usually around 3%, but now it's almost 7% right now, because everything what's going on in the world right now. So we never know, what's happening with inflation. So it can also help you maintain your standard, making sure that all of this stuff helps you to maintain the standard of living is just so important, and also leave a legacy for your heirs as well. So Patty, you can go to the next slide. And we are going to be talking a little bit about income sources in retirement. So let's now look at the number of income sources you might be able to rely on in retirement. All right, so these include savings vehicles like 401ks, pensions, investment income, annuities, Social Security, any income you may receive from real estate, or regular income from work or hobbies. After determining what sources of income may be able to, are available to you, Organize them by whether the income is predictable, which is income that is reliable no matter what happens, in the stock market, and income that is variable, income that can change year to year, year in and year out. It's important to think about this sooner than later. The more time you have, the better your outcomes will be. So if you're having questions on where to start, contact your licensed financial professional to help you start this. Patty, if you can go to slide 8 for me. And I'm going to talk about the importance of insurance, right? And there's so many different types of insurance, whether you're a business owner or not, you need insurance. If you have someone that is counting on you financially, you need insurance. Your business, if you need insurance, pretty much you need it. A lot of people, they might slack on specific types of insurance, but it's so necessary to have it. So an important part of your overall financial well-being as a business owner is to take the steps necessary to protect your assets, like yourself, your family, your home, your car, your business, from liabilities. Most of us would not be able to foot the bill outright should a fire or a tree damages our home or our business, or if we're found responsible for harming someone else in an accident in a car or at your place of business. If we got sick and we had to go to the emergency room, would we be able to just, say, hand over all of that money to pay the emergency room bill? It could be thousands and thousands of dollars. So, we would be required to pay these bills out of pocket if we had no type of insurance connected to that. So this is the ability to cover the cost of damages, and liability closely aligns with findings from the Federal Reserve Board's annual economic well-being of households, U.S. households study in 2020. So that, information kind of is coming from them. If you found, it says that they found 1 in 4 adults could not manage. They could not manage even an unexpected expense of $400. That's a lot. A lot of folks can't do that. So it's important that we make sure that we have the insurance that we need. And, Patty, if you can go ahead and, switch to the next slide for me. All right, I wanted to really kind of focus down on life insurance. I know there's property and casualty, and you need all of these all these insurances for your business. But I did a separate slide for life insurance. Life insurance is a financial product that is exchanged for timely premium payments. It pays at death benefit when the person who is insured dies. So the death benefit is paid to the policy's beneficiary and is received by them. Generally speaking, it's income tax free. But if you have people who depend on you, like I said before, financially, a life insurance policy is much more than the technical definition. Life insurance is, in essence, a level financial security for the people that you love. So this was kind of really close for me, wanting to really kind of share that and shine the light on that to you guys. So you really, understand if there's people that you love, you want to make sure that, this is taken care of. So when considering the purchase of life insurance, know that there are 2 types of life insurance. Most people know there's term insurance and permanent insurance. Term life insurance provides death benefit protection for a specific amount of years. So it's called terms. So it's, you can do like a 10-year, 20-year, 30-year, 15-year even, and generally offers the lowest premiums for the term. The most popular policy types We went over there, the 10 and the 20. So those are really popular with people. You can look at a term insurance policy like renting a home. So you pay to have the policy for the specific amount of time, but once the policy expires, you don't own anything. It's like renting a place to live. So the other type of life insurance is called permanent life insurance. So permanent life insurance is, as it sounds, it's permanent. So the insurance coverage lasts the entire life. As long as you pay your premium and, you don't allow your policy to lapse. So some permanent policies offer premiums that are guaranteed not to increase over their entire lifetime. And finally, permanent life insurance policies can also build cash value, which you can even use as a personal pension plan. So that cash value, as it keeps building up, you can use that money for a down payment on a house. I mean, it's literally like having a self-funded bank account, but you're doing it yourself. So there's so many different insurance policies out there. Literally, it's not just, hey, it's either term or it's life. You can build you can build your permanent policy to do so many different things. It's thousands of different things and strategies to use it for. So if you have questions about this, make sure you contact your trusted financial advisor for that. And if you can go to the next slide for me, Patty. All right, so why is it so important to leave a will? And what are some things that you can do with a will? So decide who gets your stuff when you die. That's pretty much what this is. Who gets it? Where does your stuff go to? Does your aunt get it? Does your kids get it? Who's getting your stuff? So most common and simple reason to make a will is to decide who will get your property when you die. Without a will, or other plan like a living trust, your state laws determine how your business and your property will be distributed. So usually to your closest relatives, like your spouse, your children, or your parents, to learn more about what happens, if you die without a will. It's not good. It's not good at all. You want to name an executor, right? After you die, someone needs to help wrap up your estate. You want to name someone who's going to be able to handle these things if something happens. So you can use your will to name an executor, a person or a representative, and that will be able to take on that task. Without a will, a court will be appointed someone to do this job. So someone you don't know in a court is going to tell someone to do the job for you. That doesn't sound fun. Not for me at all. So you want to learn about naming an executor. With your executor, that person will be able to handle it all for you. And name a guardian, to take care of your children. A will is the only place to nominate a guardian to take care of your children. And you should know if something happens where your children are going to go. So if you don't need a will, for any other reason, but you have minor children for whom, you want to name a guardian for, you should make a will. If you die without a will, a court will decide who takes care of your children. Learn more about guardianship and your children. If you have questions about that, we'll make sure and connect you with the right folks, and reach out to me. My contact information will be at the end here, and I will be happy to get you connected to the right folks that will set you up with a will. And name a property manager as well. So to take care of your children's property, even the property left to your children, either by you or anyone else. It must be managed by an adult. So when you leave property to your children through a will, a trust, or a life insurance or other beneficiary designation, You can leave instructions about how that property should be managed, usually either through a trust, or what's called a UTMA. And this is specific for children. Separately, you can use your will to name a property manager who will take care of any property that is left without, a named guardian. So, and provide a caretaker for your pet. I mean, a lot of people love their fur babies, your pets are part of the family, so you can use your will to name a trusted caretaker for your pet. You can also leave money to that person to help them to care for that pet. Using a will isn't the only way to plan for your pet, but it is usually the simplest option. Learn more about these type of estate planning, even for the pets. And provide a backup for your living trust or other estate plans. So if you think you don't need a will because you have a living trust and you don't need to name a guardian for your children or your pets, think again. You might want to make a backup will. A backup will provides a catch-all for any property that isn't taken care of by your living trust or other estate planning devices. So, for example, if you will take care of any property that you forget to transfer into your living trust, that will be acquired after you make a living trust. It will be transferred incorrectly into the living trust. So lastly, we'll learn more about, living trust. So we're going to talk about this now because you're probably like, oh, what is living trust? Like, what is that? So Patty, if you can go to the last slide here. Living trust. Okay, so living trusts are probably the best known way to avoid subjecting your family to the hassle and expense of probate court proceedings after death. So revocable living trusts are the only probate avoidance technique that allows you to avoid probate for virtually any property you own. Real estate, jewelry, heirlooms, bank accounts, anything you own, okay? Everything. So revocable living trust functions like wills. You use them to leave your property. And if you change your mind at any time while you're alive, you can change the terms of the trust to revoke it altogether. The advantage comes at your death. So property in the trust is controlled by the person you name to take over the successor trustee. And that person has the power to distribute the property to inheritors without any probate court involvement. That saves everyone a lot of work. It gets property to the people you choose to inherit it, and it's so much more quicker, and it's just easier. So if you could, if you have questions about that, we'll also connect you with the right folks for that as well, if you have any questions. And the last slide, please. And this is a thank you. So I'd like to thank you guys for putting up with my technical issues earlier. And just thank you and SCORE and just, I really had a great time talking with you guys. If you have any questions, just let me know. My contact information is at the bottom. You can send me an email or we can connect with you at any time. Like I say, I have a team that I work with, and we are knowledgeable on everything that I spoke of today. So any questions for me at all?
Danica, we want to thank you for being here and giving us an overview of all of this information. I know some of you probably heard some things that you weren't familiar with and may be a little ahead of where you are in your business, but we want you to start looking down the road because some of these businesses may take off a little quicker than you think they will. And you want to be prepared to get these systems in place so that you can secure your income and back up your cash flow and all of that. Marshall, do we have anything in the chat? Any questions for Danica?
No questions. We just had some comments from Lisa Davies and Celeste Michael, and they were saying how valuable the information was that was presented tonight. And they just wanted to thank Danica for the information. There was in the chat, though, Arthur Brooks. He wanted to know if the links to the past webinars will be available for them later, for folks later.
Okay, I put something in the chat. I hope you all got it. I put a YouTube channel link in the chat. Did any one of you see it?
He said looks like it had been erased from the chat.
How about it, Darlene? Do you see it?
I do. I'm putting it in again.
Okay, thank you. Put it in several times as we're on tonight so they won't miss it. But we have set up a separate YouTube channel that will now house our videos. Session 1 and 2 are already there. And probably within another several days after I get this video edited, we'll put it there. And in the future, that's where our videos will be for the sessions. Thank you, Danica, so much. Are there any questions? So what I'd like to do is, as Danica went through that, you all know that I had a home care agency for many years, and I went through a lot of the things that Danica was talking about. And the first thing I want to discuss is insurance. There are some of you, you're staying on your job because you need insurance and you're afraid to leave your job because of that. So I was in the same situation. What I had to do was I knew I needed an insurance policy. So immediately I got my health insurance. I said, okay, I have health insurance and I think I can start to transition out. And immediately the next thing that I thought was really important was disability insurance. I wanted to be sure that if I got hurt or something happened to me, that I had enough disability insurance that would be coming in so that I could continue to pay my bills. You really can only secure the amount of income that you have. You can't say, I'm making $2,000 a month and I want $5,000 in disability insurance. It has to be somewhat of a match. So that was the next thing that I felt I needed to secure myself. That was the next thing that I got. And then I got a life insurance policy. Initially, I just had a regular life insurance policy, you know, enough for someone to take care of your assets and, you know, take care of your burial or whatever. But as my business grew, I got a larger insurance policy because I had quite a few people working for me. And I knew that if something happened, the business did have assets, but I wanted to have enough money that someone could take and just take care of everything. Make sure that they had money to wind down the business, to sell the assets and all of that, because that can take time. And I didn't want that to be tied up. And to me, it would be like everything that's packed up on a truck, just falling out in the middle of the street and no one's taking care of it. So I wanted a way to keep all of that together. And so I was able to get a pretty large life insurance policy. I think it was $500,000 because they look at what your assets are. That was no trouble for me to get that, but it would have been needed for all of the entanglements that I had I gotten on a plane going to Europe and it went down in the ocean. So you just never know. And then I talked about the health insurance. This is key also. One of the things I wanted to do for my employees when I started the company was most of the people in the healthcare industry that do home care, they were working without benefits at the time. Now this is different now. And so the thing I wanted to do, I was like, I'm just going to be different and I am going to provide health insurance for my employees. Well, I went out and when the business started doing really well, I went out and started shopping for insurance. And they came back, most of the companies came back and they said to me, well, your insurance is going to be such and such per month because you have all these childbearing age employees. I had never heard that before. So because all of my employees were in their 20s, 30s, 40s, they were saying these people are childbearing age. And of course that upped the risk or whatever. That was just very new to me. And as I recall, I had about maybe 50 employees at the time. And my part of the insurance as the employer was going to be $100 a month. So had I gotten that insurance, I would have been out $5,000 a month / $60,000 a year. The business was doing well, but the business couldn't roll with that.
Mhm.
So I wasn't able to do it. And I told my employees, I said, I really wanted to do that for you all, but I think it's better that we still keep our jobs. And so the only thing I could do to offer them something was I went out and got what they call a cafeteria plan. Do you all know what that is? I hate to call the name of a company, but I will, Aflac. I went out and got Aflac to come into my business and offer my employees, they would offer disability, a life insurance policy, several things, and they could elect to do it. I did not have to participate in it, but I did payroll deduction. So if they signed up, I would deduct it from their pay and send it in. And several of them did sign up for it, and they were grateful for that. Because one day, one of my employees was leaving home. It was during the ice season. And when she stepped on her own front steps, she slipped and she broke her ankle. Well, she had the disability policy with Aflac, and she was able to get benefits from that. So that was one time I saw that that really worked out. As far as benefits, as a business owner, if you're leaving your job, we talked a little bit about this. I thought we touched on it a little bit in the last session. If you leave your job, you may have a 401k, and you can leave it in the plans that they have it in, but you can also transfer it out into another, retirement fund or whatever. If your business is, you can set up a maybe not a 401k. I know for my business, which was an S Corp, I set up a 403B. And mainly, y'all, I set that up for myself. My employees were able to contribute, and I matched their contributions at 3%. But I needed that for myself because I wanted to continue to grow my assets. And it was, I was able to deduct that, however my accountant did it, from the business. There were a couple of employees that got into it and stayed in it, but they weren't as transient as they are now. But as they transferred to other companies or whatever, and some of them let it go. And if they left, of course, it was theirs. They could take it with them. But that was something that I set up as Denica was talking, and she said sometimes you can get cheaper insurance or whatever because there's group plans out there. As a small business owner, there are groups that you can join that will take your expenses down, as far as any of these plans. So your financial planner will know how to do that. I don't really know exactly how it works, but I know that is available. And then as far as selling the business, I was able to sell my business after 19 and a half years. And I was speaking to another group last night, and I think I've told you all this before also, that if I had done an exit strategy when I set up my business, I would have sold in 7 years because my business was at its height and it leveled off, and that was the right time. But when I set the business up, I set that business up to take me to retirement, and it did. But had I known what I know now, I would have had an exit strategy. So when you all do these business plans, you may not think that your business is going to grow to the point that you need one, but put it in there. Put it in the original business plan. When I wrote my business plan after I did the financials and all that, I was like, I'm done. But had I gone to the next step, I would have known year 5, year 6, as well as I was doing that, it was time. So I think they're asking you all to do that in your business plans now. So just make sure that you do it because you may get there a lot quicker than you thought you would. I used a business broker to sell my business. I did not try to negotiate that on my own. A gentleman took care of that. Now, he did charge a fee, but it was worth it to me because as my business was on the market, I had to hold that business together. I had to keep it tight, keep my clients going, keep my employees going. And now I couldn't tell them I'm selling the business. I had to keep things going as if I was going to be there. And when the transaction was complete, then I told them, I have sold the business. This is who I sold it to. This is our plan going forward. But I felt more pressure to hold that business together and keep it together when it was being, when it was on the market, than at any other time, because there were people looking over my shoulder. Now, my business broker had gotten 3 years of tax returns. He got a whole bunch of things from me that he had to have to show to those prospective buyers. My business sold in 8 months, and I think I had 4 separate individuals that wanted to buy it, but some of those individuals, I did not want them to have my business because there were things about them. They were in the business too. There were things about them that I didn't think would fit for my business. So when the right person came along, that was when I actually executed the sale. There's a gentleman here in town, and I'm gonna forget his name, but he's at VR.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yes, but anyway, he is a business broker, and he says a business has to have 3 things in order to sell. 3 P's: people, processes, and profit. So I had people, my business was making a profit, and I had really tight processes. When my business broker came in the first time, the first thing he did was he looked things over, and he said, how do you do things? And I showed him my organization, how I did things and how they were documented. And he said, I tell you what, everybody doesn't have this. He said, this makes a business sellable. It looks good on paper, but when they come in and, they see that there's no structure, and if you leave and go out the door, that everything is going to fall down, they don't want it. So I had those 3 things, not even knowing that those were the 3 basics, but I did have that, and I was able to sell the business. As far as a will, I really made myself stop and do a will because I was getting ready to go on a trip to Europe. I had gone many times and just hadn't really taken care of it. And I was like, this is really dangerous. I have all these people counting on me and I need to get things set up. The one thing I did with my will, Denica, is I had more than one executor. I had an executor for my personal assets and I had one for the business, because the people that I would have handling my personal assets, they didn't know enough about business to take care of that ball of yarn that I had concocted. So I needed someone that could see that through, and that wasn't my best girlfriend or my sister or anyone. They couldn't do that. It would be enough for them to take care of my personal things. And so that is something you may want to consider. You can name that as you go through it. There's a lot to be in business, you all, but if you really do it right and you make the money, you can set it up and you'll be really proud of what you've done. I didn't see all of those things coming as I started, but as I started making certain steps, I had a really good accountant and a financial advisor, and they told me these are the steps that you need to take. I didn't know all of this going in. You all know a whole lot more going in than I did, and I was able to do it, but it was step by step. So Denica has laid out a lot of things for you. We've done a lot in these other sessions, and I hope that we put you in a position to ask the right questions, because that's really key. So do we have any questions?
There's one question here from Edwy Davis. The question is, even if your business is a new business, should you go back and augment your business plan to include your business exit strategy? Should you include this exit procedure if you decide to obtain a small business loan?
I'll answer that. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is so important to make sure that an exit strategy is put into place. And you want to make sure that at any point, in your business, because you can exit for different reasons, right? There's different reasons that you can exit your business for. I mean, it could be time that, it's retirement time. You may have a disability where you can no longer work in your business any longer, or unfortunately we die. There needs to be an exit strategy for all of these unforeseen things that could happen within your business. And thinking ahead is better than not knowing what's going to happen. And Patty, I really like what you said about having that executor, that person, and having two different ones, one that would handle your personal business and one that would handle the business, right? I'd even go a step further as having a backup for each of those, because if something were to happen to those two, what would happen next? So, it's always good to make sure that you mitigate as much risk as possible when it comes down to your assets, and your business is one of your largest assets.
Thank you. I see a question here that says, how much did I sell for? I'll just say 6 figures. And did my broker do the valuation? I guess is what you're saying. Yes, my broker did. It was one of those where they take the profit and they do a times figure, based on your industry. In healthcare, it can be anywhere from 2.5 to 3 times when I sold back in 2018. Not sure what it is now, but yes, he was the one that did that. I mean, I had an idea as to what I wanted, and it was within the range of what I wanted.
Right. And Patty, there's so many different calculations that are used that go into figuring out what that valuation is going to entail. There is a lot of different resources that financial professionals use and business brokers use, to figure out what those will be. So just make sure and just know, we think that our business is worth so much because it's our business, it belongs to us. And, we might think it's worth $2 million when really it's only worth $500,000. So, being able to actually get that professional to help you with that, as Patty had a professional, it's really worth paying that amount, however much it is that he charged you, Patty. Wasn't it definitely worth it?
Yes, and he charged me a percentage, and it was worth every penny to me, because I'm really one, I love to use professionals. I am a nurse, and I knew that was what I knew how to do. So because he had sold a number of businesses and he knew what he was doing, he knew the industry, I was very pleased with him. And he fit my personality too. He wasn't the used car type. He was a kind of mild, meek guy. When I asked him questions, he would tell me and show me what I needed to see. He didn't bug me. If he called me and told me that someone was interested in the business and I knew the person and it was someone, I said, no, I don't want to talk to him. And that's all I would say. And he would say, okay. Any other questions?
There are no questions in the chat nor in the questions and answers section.
Okay, so Darlene, did you have any additional information that you wanted to share with us?
I think we've covered most of what we should have this evening. This has been so good. Thank you, Danica, for sharing with us. Oh, someone did ask that question earlier. I don't think we answered. When they asked how much should you budget for a financial advisor? I don't know. Did they? So I don't know if I heard that.
I don't think anyone answered it. Can you answer that, Danica?
Yes. Well, I'm going to tell you this. It depends on what that financial advisor is doing for you. So we've had clients who have multi-million-dollar businesses, And there is a lot involved in a financial plan for those specific clients. So it really depends on your business and the level of where your business is at and the specific intricacies that we need to plan for. So if you have, 10 people who are fighting for your business, we have to figure out how to maneuver in between these 10 people, these stakeholders, and we have to set up all these different roadblocks. That fee is going to cost more than someone, who is, hey, I'm just, a one-person business owner. I've just started my business. I have some questions. I really need the blueprint laid down for me, specific things laid down for me. It's going to cost less for that business owner than it would for another business owner because there isn't that much to do. So each financial professional is going to charge a different fee, right? So what I would say, instead of putting a dollar amount on what that is to contact that financial professional, have them assess your business for you. They'll do a business assessment, look at the things that they, and ask you questions because it's your business, right? So as long as they're asking you the right questions, they're going to pull out everything that you need from those questions. And then they'll come back to you with a fee schedule. They'll say, hey, this is how much I charge for my fee. They say, you need help with this, and this. This is how much it is. And everything through compliance. Because there is a lot of compliance when you're dealing with the financial industry. When you're dealing with the financial industry, it is an order to it, and compliance through laws have to be set in place. So everything is in a point system. So when we're looking at things that we are, helping you with, we will lay those things down for you. You'll look at them and it will show you. How much those things will cost. And you can say, hey, I don't want to deal with that right now. I just want to focus on this. And so that will be a different fee for that. So hopefully that explains what it is. Pretty much come and see us and then we'll talk to you about that.
All right. I want to introduce you all to Marshall Warren. You see her on the panel tonight. Marshall is a SCORE client. And I've known her for well over 10 years at a different company that she used to work at. She was someone I would turn to for temporary help when I needed employees. So I've known her a long time, and now she has gone out on her own. So Marshall, will you tell us about your business?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Williams. So officially, I've been in business for myself. This is my first week full-time in business. But I have worked in temporary staffing and recruiting for over 16 years. And my company's name is HM Warren, where talent is aligned with opportunities. And what we do is RPOs, which is recruitment process outsourcing, where we assist with job placement. We also do career coaching, as well as interview techniques and resume development. The website is hmwarren.com, and we do offer a 15-minute free consultation. And I love the opportunity to speak with anyone or get a referral from you in the event that someone might need our services. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Marshall. And we know that in a small business, sometimes having access to temporary employees can really help you a lot. I know it did for me. Always, if I needed an employee in my office, I would use a temp first to be sure they worked out before I hired them permanently. And Marshall always gave me the best people. So I've known her a long time and will be rooting for you in your new business. And we wish you much success. Someone is asking for you to put your website in the chat, put your information in, so that they can get in touch with you. And Darlene, will you put the YouTube channel in one more time before we close so that they can all get it? We hope you'll subscribe to the channel so that when we upload this video, you will be notified. Bill, would you like to add anything about the last sessions or tonight's session?
No, I think the sessions have really been complete and the participants have more information than they can possibly digest in a short period of time.
Wonderful. And I want to thank all of you for attending. I thank this team. Bill is a vital part of this team. Darlene, all of them are just wonderful. I couldn't do this without the team of individuals that I have. They're all so good at, they do what I ask them to do, and I don't have to worry about it. I know what their skills are. They'll even stretch out if they need to, but they are the most capable individuals I have ever worked with. And I really appreciate that. So I'd like to thank all of you for being with us these 3 sessions. We do have another session that we're planning on government contracting that will start at the end of May. It will be 3 weeks. It will be government contracting as you have never seen it. We will show you how to put together a bid. We'll tell you all of those things that you need to know that you normally have not seen in some of the other sessions. We're going to put it together on the level that we feel like our clients have been asking for. Also, before we close, if there are any other areas that you all are struggling with, please put that in the chat. If you think there's another seminar, a series that we can put together for you to make your job easier or to help your businesses to be more successful, we would like to hear that as well. If you don't think of it right now, all of you have my email address. Email me and we'll see if we can get that in to one of our upcoming sessions. In the fall, we will redo the business plan series that we did last year. It will be a 6-week program. We're going to start around the mid-September and go to the end of October, just as we did last year. It'll be a very similar format, and we are in the process of trying to raise funds so that we can have funds to give away. As we did last year, we gave away $10,000. So we're working on that. I believe that's all of the announcements. I want to thank you all again for everything. Thank you for coming back and receiving the information that we've offered. We hope to see you in the future, and we're looking for all of you to be as successful as you can be as the days go by. Thank you all so much. We're going to go ahead and close, and you know how to get in touch with us if you need us. Thank you all, and good night.